Hello. So I often get the question of what I use to study astrology. How did I start? What are my favorite resources? So I thought I would just kind of sit by my bookcase and go through which books I love, which books I don't reference that much, and kind of probably shouldn't spend money on, and just show you guys my favorites. Yeah. So here we go. It's kind of messy, which is giving my Virgo Mars a little bit of an issue. But so my recent favorites, since I can't say favorite of all because I can't pick, I have a mutable Mars, I literally can't pick a favorite. Like, don't ask me to ever pick a favorite of anything. So for aspects, I really wanted something that explained the general concepts, so it wasn't like I was looking up every single aspect and like getting exact information on like orbs, and I didn't really want that much detail because I knew the general outline of how it went. So I really just wanted concepts. So like a conjunction, like what does that mean, what type of energy does that like bring about, and then planets, that what type of energy brings about when two planets interact, two different types of planets. So this book is amazing. I can't really flip the camera around, so I think it's backwards. I don't really know. I feel like Karen and Mean Girls, like, yeah, I literally don't know how to make this right side. It's by Sue Tompkins, and it's really awesome. It starts like very macro and gets a little bit more micro as you go on, but it really discusses the planetary energies together when they interact, rather than like this planet conjunct this planet means this, and this planet, the same planet sextile this planet means this differently. It's more of like a general, so like Neptune and the moon, these two energies together would manifest in this sort of way, or here's some examples in context of how the aspect would manifest, any aspect between the two planets. So that I really liked, because not only did I learn about each planet separately, of course I'm always learning about each planet separately, but together it was like very interesting to read because I had not read anything like it before. And then of course I'm not at my bookshelf that I need to be at. My other favorites are the 12 Houses book. So you can see it's kind of the same ish format, but I think I got them together, so I'm not exactly sure if they're... No, this one is by Howard Sasportas. Sorry if I butchered that. Sorry. So this book is also awesome because again, it's the macro to the micro. So if I like don't want to keep reading and going on to each like minute detail and like staying up till 3 in the morning, then I just like get the general concepts, and then I can like add my own analysis on top of that, or my own sort of ideas and interpretation of energies. So this is awesome because it basically gave per each house, like, I shit you not, like 3 pages maybe, which is like, anyone who reads a lot of astrology books knows like those books that have like pages on pages on pages get a little bit hard to like comprehend and take in. So I really appreciate books that like break it down in an easy digestible manner. And so it goes by, so this is the 11th house, and then this would be sun in the 11th house, would be moon in the 11th house, and each of those descriptions is like a page long. And so it really like gets you through it, and then you're like, wow, like I'm gonna read that again because that was easy. So that one I really like. I also really like, where's my soul? Oh, here. Astrology for the Soul, which I had to rebuy because I lost it. I think someone stole it. I don't know who the fuck would steal my astrology book, but it's about the nodes. This book is crazy, like good crazy. This shit read me. I was crying. I mean, I'm always crying, but like I was crying. Like, this is some shit. And yeah, like, I guess you could say it's general because it's like a lot of us have per generation like North Node and like the same sign, but they're long enough descriptions so that like certain parts you won't like see in yourself, or you won't understand yet maybe in your life, but it is very, very detailed, and I really like how it focuses on different, like it gives you different sections. So it gives you, so say it's like North Node and Capricorn, it gives you an overview, gives you the personality, so like sort of different aspects of personality, and then the needs and relationships and goals, and then it gives a healing theme song. Blows my mind. Like, who comes up with this shit? I'll let you know. Jan Spiller comes up with this shit. And then another one that I really like, oh god, this freaking 12th house book read me and ruined my life for a day. That was me exaggerating. This book, Your Secret Self, tears, just lots of tears, which means it's really like hits you, and then when it hit, well, my Mercury's in Cancer, so like something I'm reading is hitting me, I'm remembering it for sure. This video is gonna be really long, and I don't even know if Twitter's gonna let me post it. But so this book is crazy, and I like it because when I say crazy, that's a good word for me. Like double fire, crazy, good. I like it because it gave an introduction to how to use the book that wasn't like 19 pages long. Like this is the like step by step. It was more like basically suggesting to read every chapter, which has different planets in the 12th house, describes different planets in the 12th house. Because like, say my 12th house is Aquarius, and well, it is, and I have Saturn in my 12th. Like I would read the chapter for Saturn in 12th. And they also like said, you know, don't like limit yourself, like venture out to read. Like I would go and read Uranus in the 12th because I have that sort of sign energy in the 12th house. So I mean, I read all of them because I just want to know things. But I found it very interesting the way they like didn't limit it, and they kind of like proposed an open approach to reading the book. I like have so many books here, it's kind of nauseating actually. My money is like in front of me, but totally worth it, I guess. This book, whew, is this the one I read on the plane? Yep. Okay. This book is about astrology and transformation. Obviously I was like, my 8th house Pluto, let me like change my life. I'm so insane, look at this. I read this on a plane coming back from Spain next to this beautiful tall German man who like wanted to talk to me, and I was like crying. I'm always crying. I've said that 6 times. I was crying because it was so worded, so just in a wise and I don't even have words. I don't have words. In just a very impactful manner. I mean, let me just like, I'm gonna like just randomly turn to a page. Because, oh here, Mercury and Neptune. So these are like planetary combinations, so like aspects. Again, they don't say like Mercury conjunct Neptune, Mercury sextile. They just say Mercury Neptune, like that energy. What's that energy? So it kind of goes into like early life, because one of the main meanings of Mercury is like your early childhood education, early beliefs that were kind of instilled in you. So this one says, for Mercury Neptune, at an early age, the boundary between the real and the imagined is blurred, giving rise to confusion about what is truth and what is not. Naturally, there's confusion with Neptune involved sometimes, most times, every time. In communication, this person has a strong awareness of what is going on in the mind of another person and a tendency to adjust communication correspondingly. So, like, I just I'm not one to understand things that are really complexly worded or like complicated or use big words when you don't need to use big words. This book like laid it the freak out for me. I probably should end this video, but I'm just gonna keep going. I probably can crop it, I don't really know. Where's the other book? This one I really like too, for rising sign. This goes into depth, real like a lot of depth about because this whole book's on the rising sign. Like each chapter is one of the rising signs, but it's good. I don't like that they say it's your mask though, because it's kind of just gets confusing for people who are just learning that like that's not your mask. I mean, it is your mask, but that's not what it is. That's not just what it is. That's for another video of my rambling. Like, I don't know, I can't turn this around, but like, I have like tons of books here. And then, obviously, this one. I'm like a huge fan of this woman, Jan Spiller. I'm a huge fan. I don't know if she's still alive, but I should tag her in this. I'm kidding, no, I'm not gonna tag her. So this book, I also really love, Spiritual Astrology. It gives a totally different approach to the planets in the signs and the houses. And it's very, like, I don't know why the word transcendental came up in my head. I don't really know. But it's very energy-based. So it's like, it gives you, like, Jupiter and Aquarius, the unconscious expression, the conscious expression. So, like, unconscious would be, like, if you weren't awake or you weren't aware of of the reasons why you were acting. Like, you weren't consciously, like, aware of what you were doing, which is most of the world, actually, sadly. And so it kind of gives you an idea of, like, where your pitfalls may be, like, where you're not really noticing subconscious beliefs are impacting you. And then, like, how you can wake it up, like, get it together. This book is amazing. Most of these books I haven't finished because I start one and I'm like, oh my god, I need to start the next, But I promised myself this year I would get around to finishing my favorite ones. Okay, so that's... I'm trying to see, my nightstand has other books. Nope. Those are my favorites. I can make another video of the, like, kind of fun books that if you have money to blow, which, like, no one really does, you should buy because they're fun to reference and, like, talk about with your friends who, like, are beginners, or, like, you want to, like, slowly introduce them and not be like, let's talk about aspects, let's talk about orbs, and they're like, what is happening? That sort of deal. I should make a separate video for that, but I don't even know if I'm going to post this one. Maybe I will post it and I'll delete it. You know, people post the tweets and they're like, might delete. I might delete.